Okay, this book, I was thinking a little bit differently on what it would be, The Denial of Death by Ernest Becker. And it was a shocker in a in an unexpected way, I guess. I don't know, good way, bad way, whatever. Unexpected way is how I would put it. The starting itself was laying the foundation in the sense that everything people do, especially I would say like killing or many other things to control other people or dominate other people. Essentially, mainly one of the big themes in the book, or one of the big themes. There are a lot of other big themes. He discusses that's about death, conquering death. When men want to, kind of control other people, that means they are controlling the death because they are becoming, same thing with controlling death or controlling other people means they'll live forever. Their memory will live forever because they'll be known forever as the person, I don't know, the dictator, the benevolent dictator or the cruel dictator, whatever that case is. The people like control the, or people who control other people. Same thing with the communism. So anyway, murderers or people who do violence. It's all about control. Including he goes into potentially a rape and all that stuff is about control, about conquering death and conquering things that they think is more, how does he put it, more humanly, which has limitations. Humans have limitations. They live, they're born and they die. They're not there forever. So if therefore you control something, then you're controlling your death. Or so he goes on. And he goes into various psychologists, Freud, Carl Jung, so many others, including he goes into why some of the, one of the things, I forgot which other book discussed this, but one of the things he discusses also is, psychology was one of the forays that many monks and anyway, the Christian side monks, I'm not talking about other monks, but the Christian side in Christianity, many of them went to psychology. We're really discussing psychology, not really religion, when they were talking about some things and some aspects of humans. Anyway, the book is really had a mixed bag in the sense that he doesn't really go into other cultures, religions that much. Like he doesn't truly have understanding of that. I don't think he did deeply anyway. He had some surface level things that he knew about, but he's more talking Western world, I would say more of a Christian side of things when he goes into religion. He doesn't go into too much of a spiritual realm either. Goes into more hardcore, hey, this is what it is. So I think is it true? More I look into it, yeah. I mean, for example, one of the things he says is, hey, regardless of how you think you might be evolved, we're always living under the fear that anytime entire life on Earth could end, like a comet or something, friggin' bursts, or I don't know, whatever happens, sun burns out, then everybody's dead and Earth itself probably doesn't exist, so on and so forth, right? So in that sense, we're all denying death to live and pretending it doesn't exist. So that's the great point he makes, is essentially that we live in that fear, but we mask that fear with everything else we do. Or we pretend it doesn't exist. Although technically every minute and every hour and every day, I guess we live in that fact that death could come anytime. And we obviously try to ignore it because nobody can live like that, thinking about that every day, obviously. So there's always subconsciously we are trying to cover that up. So in that sense, this book is great, reading that. And also the book, like I said, mainly one of the big things I've learned is how much he's right about, potentially right about when people propose violence or people try to control people. It's more about conquering death or that we are humans than anything else. So many times when, this religiously people are killing, right? Or politically, like communism, whatever. It's the same thing. It's conquering or controlling people. Controlling people means you live or you're controlling death. That's what he says. Then he also kind of discusses about, like, even when we seek to be famous or seek to, I don't know, influence people, I guess, because influence, seek, being famous, whatever, that's still influence, one and the same thing. It's still about living forever in the memory of others. If you're not famous or if you don't do something significant, then you don't live forever. That's how you live forever. And that kind of made sense and hit me like, oh, okay. I mean, we all do. I mean, anybody who doesn't think doesn't think of, oh, I need to be thought, of this great person or good person and lived in the memory forever, or bad person, whatever, famous person. I'll admit, yeah, well, I mean, why am I doing the book reviews and all that stuff? Well, one is want to help people, but also want to be known like, hey, I help people, right? That's a reality. We want to resist that, but that's not true. The reality is that's what we want to be, most people. And most people, I found, want to help others or make a difference in people, most normal people. Now, the psychopaths want to make a difference in a negative way. That's different. But most people want to do that. But then, so here's where sometimes I'm struggling with this book is, or struggle with this book is, I believe what I've come to know is because one of the reasons we want to help others, because we are inherently, we know all is one, one is all. That means we are all made of the same thing. And helping ourselves or helping others is as good as helping ourselves. And eventually the one big thing, whatever that is, universe, God, whatever you believe in. And that's where I think why we are inherently driven to help others, most normal people, want to make a difference in other people's life. But that's not what he thinks or what he proposes, and many other psychologists propose. Again, since the spirituality aspect and all that stuff is not discussed, when it's discussed, he doesn't get deep into it. He more gets into the death aspect, the fear of death aspect, or denial of death aspect of it. Anyway, I mean, it wasn't, I would say, here's the thing for me. Would I highly recommend this book? I don't know. I'm a 50-50 on it, because some of the book I barely can remember, which means usually it didn't affect me that well to remember everything. But the main theme I remember. I don't know if I want to read it again because it didn't get me going on anything that I want to implement or learn from, other than the fact reminder that, yeah, when people do things, mean things or good things, it might be one of the factors they want to live on forever in the memory, which is 100% true, I think. That fact I don't think is any a wrong notion or wrong theory. But I also think why we like to help people usually is that we are helping ourselves by doing that, because one is all is one. Anyway, I would say read it, maybe listen to it, but would I recommend highly? Maybe not. So it's up to you guys.